It's been a long time, but welcome back to Nhau With Us. Mo, hi, bye, yo! I
was 18, and I got to bring 3 of my friends from high school. So it was 4 dudes and my dad.
Damn! So your dad was chaperoning?
And my dad was bachelor at that time, so we were up to no good. I feel like maybe within the last few years, Vietnamese people look hot, man.
We're gonna copy it because you making money?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's a Vietnamese
You sell
thing.
boba?
I sell boba.
Yeah. Who, the whole time I thought they speak Southern dialect, and then I visit their homes, and then boom, they just code switch over to like.
When you go visit them, they sound like Boomhauer, huh? Goddamn, man.
So we got.
You asking the wrong.
But you're the right guy right now because you know more of the language than we do. Sing a song, Chris Tran Travels.
Yo, who do we got with us today?
Chris Tran Travels.
But yeah, appreciate all of this and this amazing food, and yeah.
Thank you, Artist Cafe.
Well, you're a traveling guy, so amazing food comes to you all the time, right?
Yeah, definitely. I try to try everything at least once. I think I am a pretty picky eater, like eventually down the line, where I have my stuff that I'm comfortable with, but I'll always try something at least once or at least twice. So
Do you have Iron Belly now?
I think so.
He's like, are you doing it?
I don't have
ice cubes and shit?
I think I have like desensitization to slight diarrhea. Like
That's good.
Every couple of days, it's like you get a little bit of the squirts.
Yeah.
He got super worm, dude.
Yeah, so then, that's it.
The big worm eats the small worm.
Yeah. So we're good. You just gotta get used to it,
His stomach goes, yeah, that ain't shit, man. Bring me something, you know what I mean?
But I've had horse over there.
Oh yeah. How do they prepare the horse?
I had it up in the mountains in Sapa. And it looked like a gravy dish, kind of like something you'd get at like a Chinese restaurant. And it was good.
It's like saucy?
It was good. It's saucy. Yeah. So I can't like say what the horse meat was like specifically, but it was gravy, the preparation, everything. I thought it was good.
It was good, right?
Did you have it by itself, or did you have like with rice or noodle?
With rice, a whole meal. Yeah, they told me it was horse. I pretty sure it was horse. Yeah.
Well, it could be mystery meat. Who knows? They showed you a horse but served you something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That could happen too.
I doubt it, man.
I think people are civilized.
I think maybe the wildest for me personally was a turtle. Like
turtle?
I think that's common here too.
Tastes like
we call
meat.
it turtle, but Vietnamese people like distinguish between like rule and ba ba. Right?
Ba.
You guys have
Nah.
What the hell is ba ba?
Ba ba is like soft shell turtle.
Oh, okay.
Growing up, I used to see it at the supermarket here.
Soft shell turtle, like a hand roll.
It's it's the trippiest animal. It's like it's a turtle,
But it has a soft
it has
shell?
a soft shell.
Useless.
And it has like a long like pig nose.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Has your Vietnamese gotten so much better because of this?
Or was it always like dope as fuck?
No, definitely not. Definitely not even dope as fuck now. I think back then I had fluency because special situation. My older brother and older sister came over later. So I was the first in my family born in the States. And then my older siblings didn't get sponsored over until I was like 5 or 6. And so when they came with like 4 or 5 of my cousins. And they all lived in the same house with us. And then me growing up, like it was just me, my parents, and my little baby sister. So then
You were invaded by fobs.
And I wanted to hang out with them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Every day, you know what I mean? So like there was like a massive need to speak Vietnamese.
Did you know you had siblings?
Not until I was like 5 or 6. It was like
That's weird how like
a little
parents
bit
like
of
never,
family
like-
drama.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I was happy to,
I hear
having
stories
them in
like
my
that,
house,
yeah.
and then I was just tagging along, and then they were just like, man, it's like little American kid, you know what I mean? And I was like, I had to be more Vietnamese to hang out with them, and I think that forced me to have that language like really, really young. So I have like the system of Vietnamese. I didn't have the vocabulary, and I didn't have like the eloquence or anything like that. And I don't think I do now either, but I definitely like advanced my vocabulary.
We have
since
certain
being in
eloquence,
Vietnam.
right?
I think you guys are eloquent.
Yeah.
Eloquence?
Yeah. Whatever.
What'd you call
For
me?
sure.
Ella.
Eloquence?
You know what I mean?
Bye.
No, because we wanted that too, like the language barrier, like, old versus new versus old, young versus, whatever. And old country, new country, motherland versus here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What,
Yeah.
what dialect did your family have?
Mine is a mixed dialect household. My dad's Bắc Nam Tu, and my mom is Saigon, but her mom is Quảng Ngãi.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
Mixed.
like all
What
kinds
the
of
hell is
stuff.
Quảng Ngãi?
It's a hood.
Quảng Ngãi is like South Central. So they do the
Damn,
same.
you're from South Central?
South
South Central Vietnam.
South Central Vietnam.
South Central Vietnam.
That's my grandma.
My grandma's from South Central
Hails from
Vietnam.
South Central. Yeah. But
So all you South Central Vietnam, man.
represent. But she does this thing. They change the vowels. So instead of said app, they'll say set up.
Ah.
Yeah. So it's trippy. So it is a whole big mix. Of all
What the
kinds
hell
of
is
stuff.
said dope?
Said dope is said app, but Quảng Ngãi version.
Just different dialects. You know? Who I find like the most interesting is like Hui people, and then they like live in like America, and they have to learn Nam and Bak. And they're like so good. They're just like fluent in all three.
Yeah. That happens in Vietnam too. Because a lot of the folks in Saigon that I've met, who, you know, the whole time I thought they speak Southern dialect, and then I visit their homes, and then boom, they just code switch over to like full-on Hue accent.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that they have to do all across Vietnam, especially when they go to the big cities.
Yeah.
Like they become like master code switchers. Because no one understands them.
When you go visit them, they sound like Boomhauer, huh?
Yeah.
You know, goddamn man. You know. So we got it too. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
So you
think.
code switching over right now.
It's like East Coast, you know, Central America, and then West Coast. Right? We all got our different slang,
Yep.
our own like words.
Yep,
We're all the same thing.
Yonghauer.
They do. They have their slang.
Do Yonghauer.
Ê, cho Yonghauer.
Dạ đây, ngon,
Mai
ngon,
đây
ngon,
là chai
ngon.
bia cho tao nè uống.
Biết không?
Biết không?
Vietnamese bone thugs over here.
Bone. Wait, where were you born in the States?
Northridge,
Northridge.
San Fernando Valley.
San Fernando Valley. Yeah, down here, Garden Grove, and then like Little Saigon had like a beef back in the day.
Oh wait, I thought Garden Grove was part of Little Saigon,
It is.
but
Just,
not before that.
Just supremacy was like, what is Little Saigon? Is it Garden Grove, Westminster, or Santa Ana?
Okay.
It's like pockets.
It's
of Garden
pockets,
Grove.
yeah. So
Okay.
little
I didn't
touches
know
of it.
about all this. Like, so this
the
is the
three major
history.
pockets of Little Saigon is Westminster, Garden Grove, and Santa Ana. So that's the trifecta of what Little Saigon, but it also expanded to Fountain Valley.
Would you count Fountain Valley now? Even though it's not in the borderlines, but like look at our ecosystem there now.
I think Fountain Valley should be included because when you know,
like tell us we don't eat in Fountain Valley all the time now. All that the whole right across from Miles
They
Square
earned
Park.
it. They earned it.
dude, Fountain Valley has its place. Fountain Valley is like let's call it like a little bit more upscale, right?
Upscale.
You're moving towards the water. You know what I mean?
High end Little Saigon.
No, not even high end.
The upper class Little Saigon or what?
You know, as soon as we infiltrate Huntington Beach,
Yeah, good luck.
yeah, good
So
luck with
that's definitely not Little Saigon. That's where you draw the line.
No.
Okay.
HB is a different turf in its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah, HB skinheads.
Yeah, HB is a little. Yeah, if you know the history of HB, it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
Right. Very different demographic.
Yeah, they're doing graphics. You escaped Little Saigon to go to HB.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Close enough to eat the food, far enough to not hear the drama.
Yes,
That sounds like kind of similar to my experience in the valley as well.
that's same.
Super diverse, and then like very clear city kind of boundaries where like you cross over there and it's like a very different demographic.
Oh, super huge,
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? This is almost like the Vietnamese in Irvine versus Vietnamese in Little Saigon.
Okay, yeah, completely different, but so close. Just a few freeway stops away.
Yeah.
Different culture.
Same geographic area, but like South County, North County. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is different. Sorry, South County guys. Stay in Diamond Dam Jamboree.
So what year did you head out to Vietnam and why did you go?
I have a pretty long history going back and forth to Vietnam. So the first time I went back was when I was 18. Literally the first time I went was with my dad. And
What year was this?
This was 2003.
2003.
Yeah, 2003. I was 18, and I got to bring 3 of my friends from high school. So it was 4 dudes and my dad.
Damn! So dad was chaperoning?
And my dad was a bachelor at that time, so we were up to no good.
Oh yeah, you guys went to the pool hall, discotheque?
We had a really good time, but we didn't like bring back any like, we didn't have culture. Okay, definitely not that.
I was trying not to say it out loud.
I was setting myself up for that one. Yeah. So that was in the clear.
The gift that keeps on giving?
So was that is that his way of bringing you to manhood?
No, maybe. Like,
Well, what did you guys do? Did you guys go like any like Nhau Way, or just like stayed in Saigon?
we did. We went to the Mekong Delta. I really remember that. Went to Sadek. I think. Well, my dad had a girlfriend at the time, and we went to her hometown. Just like I remember, just taking a boat along the river, the Mekong, where we were. I don't think that was the Mekong. That's like one of the smaller rivers, but just very brown. They did everything on the water, wash the dishes, take a bath. They were like plucking chicken feathers.
Sounds romantic.
Like, that was our lunch too, and I was like,
Yeah.
And I just didn't take back like any kind of cultural insights, and we were just like dumb kids, just having a good time.
Yeah.
Debauchery.
Yeah, I mean it was a good time. And then I went back 2005, 2006 to do a study abroad. So I studied in Vietnam, which my parents were like, "What the heck are you doing?" You know, like, because I was at UCLA, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, I'm gonna go study a semester in Vietnam," and they're like, "Why would you do that?" And actually, even people there, when I was
like, what are you
in the
doing
program, Vietnamese people were like, "Yo, we're trying to go over there. Why are you coming over here?"
You must have talked to Boomhauer.
What year is this?
2006.
Whoa.
2006. So I did a semester in Hanoi, and changed my life. I would say that experience is why I do what I do now and why I'm based in Vietnam. I was never able to shake like how profound that was for me. And
tell us about it. Like what specifically was so profound that hit you where you're like, this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
This is me.
Who I am.
Yeah.
I found my calling.
I think because at that time I was in my last year of university. I had already been taking Vietnamese history classes, things like that, and I had a lot of questions. And everything that I was imagining, thinking about, asking about was just like from here, like in a bubble with my parents and this in the classroom here. But being on the ground over there, talking to other young people in Vietnam and like just feeling like getting the same curiosity from them. And then getting this sense of like a bridge building, you know, where they're like, "Hey, we're really curious about you. Like, tell us everything about you," and like, you know, just very welcoming. Yeah. And then me feeling the same thing at that point. I was very curious at that point. And then what I learned was just so astonishing. Like, it was just kind of this feeling of like everything was new, but like familiar at the same time. I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah, so I had the language, you know, like I was fluent enough to talk to them and like make connections and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God, I thought I knew about all of this, but I didn't really know anything.
You're like, I don't know shit.
And that
it's different when you
fascination
drink the water,
just kept me coming back.
Once you start drinking the water in the Kool-Aid, it's different, dude.
Yeah. Once you touch the land, you know, it's different.
Once you touch the land, once you like, you know, have the meal there, once you make the actual connections. And then, I don't know, I just felt like whatever I did after that, I wanted to have some kind of connection to Vietnam. I wanted to be there.
I think that's the thing we all retain is like this Viet pride.
Yeah, because we were banging a lot of Viet pride here when we were young, like little
I came
kids.
from that too.
We just go around, we're like, Viet pride.
Absolutely. And I talked about that with them too. I remember at the university in Hanoi just saying like, hey, you know, like, I feel very Vietnamese. We just had a different version of Vietnamese. I don't think they knew anything that I was talking about, but growing up, like you guys said, like I felt very Vietnamese because we had the community in Southern California. It was very real.
Yeah.
Oh, we stood on it like hard. Okay.
Yeah. We had to fight against discriminations and stuff like that.
So like it'd be asking like, where you from? Fucking Vietnam, man. Vietnamese.
Yeah, you say Vietnamese.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You say it with your fucking chest. I'm fucking Vietnamese, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
what's up, dog?
What's up, man? Don't make it down there, no.
You can leave, fool.
110 talking like you're 220 and shit.
Yeah. I felt that growing up. I mean, I think I was a pretty nerdy kid growing up. I was watching anime, playing with Legos and stuff, like up until like 12, 13. Middle school kids who like knew kind of like older high school kids, and then them who knew like OGs in the valley, kind of like recruited me, I guess. You know, they're like, "What? You're Vietnamese? Like, you got to get with us.
Nobody tell you out."
I was like,
get in the car, hold
get my anime away, you know, like.
Put this under your belt.
But I think the main thing was like we were very similar, you know, like I came from like a kind of like a broken home, you know, working class family, and then they were just like, hey, you know, let's just come kick it. And then we had that community, which was like, you know, just like another pocket of like everything that was going on here, that whole Vietnamese pride, era, going to Foot Lap Tog, getting our CDs and like the car scene and like all of that, and it was like an entire universe in itself.
Did you have a weird haircut too?
I had
the
slick
bleach
back
with the bleach.
I didn't bleach. I just had slick back, and then I had wavy hair. But I tried to straighten it. I'm doing this right now. I was like trying to perm it, like so, like get my bangs straight, like
activated.
Which is weird because I got a perm. Yes, I fucking got a perm. Because to get the wavy hair, because we had that straight fucking, hair that just fucking went nowhere but straight. You know what I mean?
Soul glow.
Yeah. So I had to get a perm just to get that. And you fucking straighten it out. What the fuck?
Wait, you got a perm to curl it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're doing the complete opposite.
It's complete opposite because. Well, remember, I'm a kid of the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Perms are cool.
What else was the style for you guys?
What year?
70s and 80s when you were
I had
out in the streets cut. Like stylish.
Oh, my style was how straight can I get my bowl cut? You know what I mean? Is it crooked? I had a whole helmet head, man.
What, like up till middle school, high school, like?
Bro, man. We used to cut our hair with a fucking Flowbee, and a lot of people don't even know what the Flowbee is.
The vacuum thing?
Yeah. You know what a Flowbee is?
I do not.
You attach this bitch to a fucking vacuum, and you just fucking go against your hair, and it cuts it even, and then they fucking take a fucking whatever scissor and just cut the straight line across your face, man. Then that was your haircut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we didn't have a stylist. That was a style. Fucking Mad Mob, fucking bowl cut.
Hard.
You know what I mean?
Bowl cut all throughout, like.
Yeah.
Nah,
I had a bowl cut and a tail.
I had a bowl cut all the way till when I hit junior high.
Yeah.
And that's where okay, now I gotta get some hairspray and gel.
Yeah.
So what about the clothes? What was it for you guys?
Clothes? I'm gonna be honest with you. Where I grew up, it was swap meet and indoor swap mall.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Socks were 5 for 10. T-shirts were 5 for 10.
Yep.
Right. And whatever irregular that they were selling, and whatever's on sale. You know what I mean?
So like big white tees or
white
like
tees, Pro Sport. Dickies, Dickie cutoffs. Hand-me-downs, flannels.
Yeah.
And even a lot of wife beaters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tank tops were.
Yeah, tank tops was the shit. That was
no muscles.
No muscles out. Just skinny bones, man. What's up?
Did you guys
Sweats.
do slacks?
Slacks.
We did slacks. We did slacks. Yeah.
We did Dickie slacks.
No, I did have slacks made as soon as I hit high school, like senior year.
I got slacks made. My mom got them from Vietnam, just 12 of them, all different colors.
Yes.
And then initial belts.
Oh yeah.
What are
swap belts?
Yeah.
Like from the swap meet.
Yeah. Did you let a tail hang?
I had a tail. I was.
So did you mimic the style that you saw, or that's just what you wanted to,
As a kid, for sure, I wasn't coming up with that. That was the older homies who were already dressed like that, and then it was just me just trying to fit in with the family. At that time, I didn't see my dad very much, and I was just kind of seeking that brotherhood, I got dressed like everybody, and then I started talking like everybody, and then that's how it happened. And I was just like,
Chris is the banger, dog.
You sound like you could have got caught up in some shit, man.
I got hit up, but I was still a very, I think, closet nerd at that time, and I was reading a lot of books. I was going to class.
No, gangsters read books and watch anime too. They just don't tell nobody.
They just don't tell nobody. There's like closet nerd. Oh my god, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, come out and take it. I can't. I got Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. I'm playing Counter Strike, man.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Roblox on me. You know what I mean?
Nowadays, Minecraft.
So when you were in Vietnam for that span of time, right? How did you feel about the progression for how it is now?
Oh my god.
Man, 03, 06 till now?
Insanity.
Fuck.
Yeah, because the Vietnam pride has grown so much, right?
It's intense. Even me and my homie just recently, who did the Hanoi program with me, we were talking about how we were in Hanoi at a very special time too, because it was just opening up. Vietnam just joined the WTO, and then during that time, because I love Hanoi food, and there's for certain dishes, you only go to specific restaurants. Like Bún Chả, you go to the Bún Chả spot, right?
Yeah.
Specialty.
Coffee, you go to the special A coffee spot.
Same here.
Recently, when I went there, dude, everybody sells A coffee. Bún Chả is all over the place. There's so many tourists now, and I'm like, dude, it's not the same.
Yeah.
So we're
we've
we've been there. We saw it at a time where at this point we can actually be nostalgic for what it used to be. because it's changed so fast.
Yeah.
It sounds like Vietnam copied what we did here, like in the 80s. With something works for you, we're gonna copy it because he making money.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that's a Vietnamese
You sell
thing.
boba?
Well, I sell boba.
Yeah, that's completely Vietnamese,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
And
Whatever
we're
works,
just a
let's go.
mimic copycat.
We love ripping
country,
people off.
you know, right? Like,
Yeah.
what is he selling? You know,
No,
7 leaf?
yeah.
7 leaf. Oh,
One
no.
leaf?
7 leaf. Now 7 leaf. Okay.
7 leaf, 1 leaf.
Not the same.
Not the same, but almost the same.
Yeah.
But to the other people that come in, they don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is
They definitely don't.
Yeah,
They definitely
you
don't.
don't. Because
Yeah.
I'll generalize. You know what I mean?
Dude, yeah, I was in Hanoi. I was just like, I had a hotel. I was just by myself, and I walked outside. I'm like, I'm gonna find a place to eat. It's not gonna be that hard. And just walking around, I'm seeing like all these tourists in all these restaurants, and I'm like, there's no way this is good. You know, it looks so generic, so touristy, and then like just having trouble finding where to go. And I was like, man, this place is completely different now.
Do you feel like it's becoming like a tourist trap? Or just like certain pockets, right?
it's still all there.
Yeah.
Like Hanoi, I'm just talking about Hanoi specifically, it's definitely still all there because even the locals in Hanoi, now they're living in like some luxury apartments outside the city. They still all come into the old quarter to eat. You just gotta know where the local spots are to find it. And that's the fun part of Vietnam in general, but definitely Hanoi. Everything's in some little alley where you gotta walk up some dark stairs and there's like one light bulb and then and then it's like a beautiful restaurant inside.
And is that gonna be a part of you're doing a tour thing, right?
Yeah, man. So we just started a tour company
Yeah, congratulations,
a few weeks
brother.
ago. Yeah.
What is it called?
It's called Third Culture Vietnam.
Wait, one more time?
Third Culture Vietnam.
Third Culture Vietnam.
Yeah.
Third Culture Vietnam.
Why
Yeah.
is it called Third Culture Vietnam?
Because it started from this desire to not just do tours, generic tours, but specifically speaking to the community, overseas Vietnamese, people like us who grew up here and want to experience Vietnam, but have it more like a discovering your roots, finding your heritage. Because I've been on a lot of tours in Vietnam, and I noticed that, you know, if you're on a tour with like an old British couple and like 4 Australian college kids, you don't want to talk about like, hey, my family like escaped on a boat, or like, you know, this is where my grandma's from, or like this place has a lot of meaning to me. Like they're gonna be like, okay, cool. You know, like it's not like that. And the tour operators don't care about that either, because they just want to take you to a tourist trap and like all this kind of stuff.
Sell you something.
So I wanted to create an experience for people seeking heritage, which is what I experienced when I did the study abroad thing.
Nice.
You know, like that was profound to me because I was with like a bunch of kids from Orange County and like San Jose and stuff. And we're here like, dude, our parents didn't tell us about this. And then we were just like losing our minds, you know, and like people were in tears and like all this stuff. I wanted something like that because I don't think that really exists. You know, so that's why we call it
Something's
third
more-
culture, because
more moving, right?
That's
Yeah.
us.
So that's the third culture.
Bicultural
Now,
kids.
let me ask you this though. Doing these tours, did you experience any kind of discrimination being where you come from here?
Honestly, I've been thinking about that a lot. Just because now making content, I do experience some negative like stuff, you know. But for the most part, on the ground, I don't really experience very much.
Because there's an inherent fear for people from here being discriminated when they go back.
I can't really think of a single incident where like somebody was like, you know, we don't
you, go
like
home.
you, fuck you, you know, I don't like what you stand for, your flag, or blah blah blah, this and that. Like, you know, I don't know if like they never felt that from the start, or like maybe they did and they met me and it changed, or like I don't know, but it's never happened. That
never
kind
happened?
of confrontation has never happened except on the internet.
I think it's like just radicals, right? And then internet gangsters they're on the internet,
Keyboard
right?
warriors or
stuff like
whatever.
that. Because like, let's say like, you know, like Vietnam just won the soccer game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm super proud.
And
and
I was
happy
super proud of
Vietnam,
that
right?
shit,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Go Vietnam.
And then
You know what I
signs
mean?
here and everywhere.
Same here. That's
You know,
the team.
I have no problem with that.
That's the Vietnam
That's
team.
Awesome, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. And I fully, you know, all for that. I love that. My father was a soccer player, you know, in Vietnam back in the day. And it's just, I feel that we should just all love each other and, you know what I mean? And grow together and help each other out. Just like back in the day too. People used to come over here, work, and then send their US dollars back
Back to
home.
Vietnam.
So
Yeah.
the family can like build their empire and stuff like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
So we were like still representing, you know, back home too.
Because like
Yeah.
we started at the beginning, you know, a lot of us back in the 80s and 90s, we made sure they knew we were Vietnamese. And that's the only flag we know how to represent our Vietnamese heritage.
Yeah.
Okay, but like to everybody that wasn't Vietnamese, they knew like when we walked in, we're fucking Vietnamese. You know, there were some people that hid that fact. You know, they tried to assimilate an American fabric, like, oh no, you know, and try to, you know what I mean?
Themselves
distance themselves from that whole thing. Which, you know, everybody had to do their own journey. But then now, fast forward 20, 30, 40, 50 years now, you know, we just kind of like, am I still part of being Vietnamese? I feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
1000%.
And some people try to correct you about that. You know, it's like, oh, you're not fucking real Vietnamese. What does that mean? You know what I mean? Is it the pride? Is it because I don't know culture, or that I don't live on the soil? You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's I've experienced that. Like online.
Yeah.
Not in person, but online, you know. I think sometimes when I make content, if I just start speaking in fluent English, people don't take me seriously. You know, there'll be folks who are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. You know, he's just one of those American kids who like has Vietnamese heritage, and he's just kind of like finding his way. The second I try to be an authority on any kind of Vietnamese experience, then it's just like, you know, they kind of brush it aside. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a lot, but you know, it's there. So I do kind of feel like, you know, a little bit bummed out by that, because I'm just kind of like, I'm Vietnamese too. I can't share in this experience just because I'm born in the States and I speak fluent English, you know, like
that's unfair.
I'm still Vietnamese, man.
Because like in my industry, right, in tattooing, there's a lot of people who specialize in like, say like Japanese work. And you know, they're white, Caucasian, European, stuff like that. But they've studied so much, they know a lot more than a lot of, say, like native Japanese people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've studied so much. They wear the shit every day and play with katana every day, and like, you know, they're true artists, and they truly study the history and study the storyline, and they have this love for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little unfair.
I wonder sometimes, because I had this interesting conversation with another podcaster recently, based in Denmark. He's Vietnamese, and then on the show was also his brother-in-law, who's white dude, Danish guy, and you know, I was telling him about negative comments and stuff like that, and he said that in Denmark, they don't really take themselves too seriously. Like, where if somebody was kind of making fun of Danish people, and then a Danish person got offended, other Danish people would like kind of say like, what's the big deal, man? And they have like an expression for that, which is like, that guy wears small shoes.
Wooden shoes.
It's kind of like, basically like, he has a stick up his ass. You know, it's like they'll call you out for that.
Without a small dick
it's not a big deal. Why are you making such a big deal out of it, you know? And it made it seem like he was saying Danish people, like, they don't have that kind of pride and ego as a culture. And it just made me wonder, like, do Vietnamese people have a really big ego?
We do.
And I kind of think we do.
We do.
We're
we have
sensitive.
a lot of pride, a lot of ego. That's why, like,
we have a lot of people go to jail just for stupid shit.
Yeah, because pride and ego and resilience all combine.
It's kind of,
And if you combine that, and I'm not even talking about toxicity, it's just really being proud of who you are. And then now you have to do your counterpart that has the same element of pride and stuff, but you feel the same thing on different ends of the spectrum, right?
Yep.
Okay, but to counter that, it's like, I know you're very prideful. I know you're very, you know what I mean? But I go, how do I even deal with myself on the other side? You know, because I stand on it here, and they have to stand on it there, but somewhere we're like, we gotta fucking stand on it together.
Right.
Okay, where do we find that common ground?
Right. And I think there is definitely common ground. We got to find it, but it also takes, it takes kind of like let me stop and just let go of that a little bit.
Yes.
Let go of that pride a little bit, just to see each other, be able to connect, work together, you know, all of that. And you know what? Now that we're talking about it, I feel like the majority of people are that. You know, like we said earlier, there's like keyboard warriors, the extremists and stuff like that, you know. I think like on the ground, a lot of young people now, especially, like they want to just, you know, just move forward, have fun, talk culture, talk, you know, what's next, and like celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's definitely the vast majority of people.
And that's all we want, man. You know, it's just our people.
Yo,
like,
cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to being fucking Vietnamese.
Yo,
okay?
Viet pride back in
Viet pride.
Viet pride.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So what are the are you working on any like future projects? You mostly do history and linguistics and then tours, and it sounds like a lot, but it's all kind of connected together, right?
Yeah, I think my two biggest projects are the tour one that's just really recent, but what I've been trying to do as a business is with the language. because I'm really big on preserving Vietnamese, like our heritage language. And I think that I was kind of blessed because my mom forced me to speak Vietnamese like as a kid.
No, that's
so
like I said, awesome. Like, it's amazing.
It's awesome. I have the system, you know. And then I went to learn it. You know, I learned it in university. I did it Vietnamese classes at that study abroad program that I did in Hanoi. And then after that, I had that urge early on to be like, man, I'm at this point where like I want to give, you know, my friends and my community back here the Vietnamese, because it's obviously a tool that's helping me connect and learn more about myself and connect to people, other Vietnamese people. And then I kind of forgot about it for a long time. I taught high school here for like 8 years. And then since being a creator, just kind of accidentally, that was never planned. I wasn't trying to be Chris Tran Travels, the influencer, or anything like that. Did not plan it. Nope, that's just kind of happened.
Just like us.
Sounds like a little bit of us, you know what I mean?
That's the beautiful thing about life. And I just started noticing comments. People were like, hey, I'm following this guy, or I'm following you to learn Vietnamese, because I was saying some Vietnamese words. And I was like, oh, yeah, that need is still there, man.
No, it's huge.
So I've been working on building like an online school basically.
And that's how I started following you about a year and some change. Yeah. Okay, because you came on real. This guy's, you know, he's kind of in between and he's doing this shit.
Yeah.
And you're doing it correctly.
I want to bridge it, man, and I think the language is key. Bringing people to Vietnam is one, but the other one is like just giving people the language. And our generation right now is so crucial. Because you know, the millennials and Gen X they got kids, and then everyone's asking like, how do I pass on Vietnamese to the younger generation, right? So then there's a massive need for it.
And you know, we have that same journey and goal, like even like being Vietnamese here in America, in California, like we try to tell them how it was growing up, and you know, the diversity, the challenges, the things like, I mean, for example, I'm relearning Vietnamese. Like right now, you hardly, you know, I like for like probably a good 5 years, I didn't speak one lick of it.
Oh wow, okay.
Like, you know, because they clown me for it. As soon as I open my mouth, you're like, man, then you just shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay, but then on the flip side, you can't speak fucking English. You know what I mean? Like, so fuck you. And then they asked me to translate for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then in turn like that, you know, and then after high school, I started relearning Vietnamese, and I'm still relearning now. That's why I keep asking, what does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know the cities, this and that, you know. Yeah. And I was just made aware that our Vietnamese is very capsulized.
Yeah.
Okay, like we're stuck in the 70s. We're the cool cats, right? Like how do you put it? Like
Little Saigon is just capsulated in like pre-war 1970s. Like our
75,
food is
Saigon,
1970s. You know, our the way we talk, you know, our mannerisms, it's all from like that time. And we never evolved versus like say Vietnam's like, we're gonna evolve this shit, we're gonna make some street food, we're gonna do some innovations. You know, where we're just like, no. Pho is made this way, goddamn it. You're like, it's gotta be like that forever.
But that's how stubborn our culture was to retain that.
Yeah.
And they kept it all the way to now.
Yep.
Okay, so whoever, you know, whatever job, they did a great job of fucking, you know,
reserving
that culture, which they believed that was the culture.
Yeah.
And before, like, you know, the gates open for Vietnam, where like now Vietnam's bringing their culture here, and now
they're bringing the street food over here. You know, we're like, ooh, what's that?
So this is my curious question. Okay, so products from the Western world now hits Vietnam. There's not a word for it. Who coins these words to describe certain things? Okay, if nitrous is a thing, do they call it nitrous, or are they gonna say a Vietnamese version of nitrous?
They go bong bong cười. Right?
No idea. Yeah, who's coined it? Like, I don't know.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so you're taking a word that's originated from here, that you're now using in the Vietnamese community. Now Vietnamese has to now translate it somehow.
Right.
Okay, do you take an iteration of nitrous and or just make a whole new word?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know who sets that.
But is it Vietnamese people who are doing that, or is it foreigner Vietnamese from out of country going there, opening a business, and then bringing that shit?
That's what I'm saying. So I
think it's all of it.
Because there's a lot of new things being developed.
Yeah.
Okay, and being developed now. Do you take the version of American and bastardize it, or you make a whole Vietnamese version of it.
Interesting.
Because we're the best at naming things.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think there's different streams. For example, like there are words that Vietnamese people will use an English word for.
Yeah.
And I think that's considered kind of slangy, but it's like very much accepted. Like people will say like meeting, hôm nay có meeting. You know?
Okay, what is meeting?
Yeah, like meeting.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, but there's a formal word like cuộc họp. You know, so then people kind of use both.
So
but then there's a lot of English words infiltrating into the language.
Yeah,
and everything.
that's what I mean. Like you take the broken English version, now make it the Vietnamese version, and now the broken English is now the norm.
Yeah, I don't know the
You know what I mean?
dynamics of that. Yeah.
Well, the
So how that
Japanese has
works.
like katakana, so it's like that is like specifically for like American words. Like television, you're like terebi, you know, makarudonru, like, you know, McDonald's and shit like that.
Yeah, no, but I know what your point is. Like,
Who's coining it?
up there saying like we're gonna say this now for this word? You know, is it like the top like language minister or something like that, or like is it just the population deciding? Like,
Yeah,
how
it's
does
like
that
we
work?
don't have a Webster.
Yeah. But I mean, like, even our words and stuff like that is evolved through like stories and like things that came apart. Like, you know, like the high five is like pretty new.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not that old, you know, or like, hey, that guy's okay. It used to be like a club or some shit, like, hey, that's an okay guy.
Okay, so let's just say, you know, we dap. You know what I mean? And then now Vietnamese started dapping. Now how are you going to say that in Vietnamese? You know what I mean?
Nap.
See, even the word cheers, okay?
Good time. Yeah.
So, okay, is it...
Where does it come from? Yo?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Okay, how do you spell it?
I like that because yo is it the soft D, the y, and then o, right?
Yo.
Maybe I'm wrong.
And then the zo.
And then who
But I
came
think it
up with
depends on
Zo?
which part, right?
Because I've always thought that it was the word for in Southern dialect.
Yeah.
Like yo.
Yeah.
Like V O.
Oh.
But then I've seen it spelled like D Z O.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of ways. So I'm not really sure at this point. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
that's the street level stuff, like, you know, and now the let's say you have champagne or wine, you don't say yo, you say gong lei, huh?
Oh, well, do people say? Actually, I haven't yo with some champagne ever in Vietnam.
Okay,
I
so
don't
now we
really know.
elevated. Okay, what's the elevated version of yo?
I don't think they have one.
Cheers, salute.
So it's how
I think
you
that's
say
that's
cheers.
something.
People say sequoia too.
Sequoia.
Health.
Yeah, to your health, but that's
Yeah.
just like, hey, to blessings. You know what I mean?
Do we have a drinking song? We have plenty of drinking songs, right? Like
Do we?
Vietnamese drinking songs.
Vietnamese people just sing. Like they just start. They'll be passing around a karaoke mic. Like without a karaoke, this is somebody's living room, and then they have
the
a
So are we the
set.
next Filipinos of fucking Asia?
We've been.
I don't know,
Vietnamese
man.
people have been
The
singing.
Filipinos can fucking sing, bro.
We just
I
don't
Yeah.
sing
I don't
Mariah
know if we can
Carey.
battle
Oh man,
the Philippines.
We
but
just don't kill it with English songs like Filipinos do. We just
Yeah.
sing completely Vietnamese songs.
They're Disney princesses, bro. You can't.
Like I feel like because I can't sing Vietnamese.
Oh yeah.
Oh guys, get the mic. He's gonna sing us a song. Okay?
Which one?
I cannot. Let me just repeat.
Damn it.
But I do sing English songs, and I've been with a lot of uncles where they're passing around the mic. They're like, they force you, man. They're like, you have to do a song, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man, I'm gonna do some like Red Hot Chili Peppers right now or something like that, you know? And I feel like the room just kind of goes quiet. They're just kind of like, nah. You know, like they're waiting for me to do like some like song or something like that.
You should
you know?
sing like Two Live Crew. We want some pussy or something. You know?
I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time.
You used to tell them, hey, we want some food.
Why?
Got ideas, man.
If you guys want to know about the yo,
Okay.
so Southern Vietnam started with Mo Pai Da Vo.
Oh, I was right.
Northern adapted it and said yo.
Add a Z to it.
Zo.
Oh.
So it started in the south and migrated to the north.
Yeah.
See, that's always been confusing. Okay, because like you go up, Đi Về. Okay, but it's spelled Đi Về. So who's right, who's wrong, and which dialect am I supposed to
Oh,
fuck?
bro, I can explain that. That's the European missionaries that came in and invented the script. Because that wasn't Vietnamese people. It
Yeah.
was like Europeans.
European missionaries.
in
We
the
went along with the
17th
colonizer?
century. It was the colonizers that came up with those letters.
Because before it was Dunam, and then it switched to the Latin version.
Yeah, so I tell people because because I'm around a lot of Southerners, Northerners who are like talking about the language, and then a lot of people say Southern dialect is wrong, and the Northern dialect is the correct one because it matches up with the letters. But I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't mean it's correct. It's just the one that matches with the writing. Because when those guys came, the priests came, they were basing the writing off of the dialect that they saw. You know, so like if those guys landed in the South, they probably would have based it on a Southern dialect.
God damn it.
So then it would be completely different. Then Northern dialect would be wrong, you know? But then because they landed there, they're just basing it off what they heard. So it just matches with the Northern dialect more because that's where they were at. And actually, I heard it actually matches with the North Central more. Ngang.
Not South Central, right?
Yeah, because the Northern dialect's also wrong. Yeah, not South Central. Because I don't think the Southern dialect existed yet at that time. Yeah, it was the North Central. But anyways, my point is just that, neither one is wrong or right. It's the colonizers that made that in the first place.
Yeah.
So
wrong standard.
Also hood slang too, right?
Yeah, so let's say slang.
Where you from?
Okay, so is slang being invented right now in Vietnam?
Absolutely.
For sure.
Okay, so let's teach the kids. I haven't been back to Vietnam. Let's say I'm an 18-year-old kid that's never been to Vietnam. I want to go flirt, hit up girls, or whatever.
What's that called? Riz?
Okay, give me the slang version.
I'm not that young either.
No, give me the slang version of going, let's go hit up on girls.
What's the slang version right now?
In Vietnam.
In Vietnam?
Okay, like
The Gen Alpha Vietnam.
Let's say
What's the skibbity?
Skibbity.
Okay, let's say it looks like us back in the days, đi cô gái. It's very, now it's like
Very,
the
very
girls hate that
derogatory.
shit. Yeah, okay.
Đi cô gái.
Okay,
Yeah.
we say the word gái, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now give me the Vietnamese equivalent, đi cô gái.
Go out pimping.
You're asking the wrong.
But you're
The wrong guy.
But you're the right guy right now because you know more of the language than we do. You know what I mean?
He's all not
the
but I'm
proper
not,
version.
He's like scholar stuff, okay, guys?
For that
Okay.
particular
Okay, let's say the proper
activity.
way. Let's say I gotta go find me a girl. Okay, let's go. You're gonna go out and go find you a girl.
Yeah.
You know, you're young, single, and a bachelor. Okay, tell me how you're gonna tell your people. We're gonna go out to look for him. We're gonna hook him up.
So how would I?
How would you say it? Forget the whole.
Yeah, forget the whole. Don't even.
How would you say it?
say?
Like, let's
to
go
the
out and
girl?
go find some
No,
bitches.
to explain something, we're gonna take Andy here, đi cô gái, but the Vietnamese street version of that.
Đi cô gái.
Yeah, but you just said it, man. Like,
I don't want to say đi cô gái,
cô gái. No, I think cô gái still works.
but
man.
do they say gái in Vietnam?
I'm pretty sure. Okay, I don't really know. I don't really know.
But you know,
This
it's
is not
from
the
South Central,
Vietnamese
bro.
that I teach, by the way.
Okay, he
This is not the type of Vietnamese.
we're taking him down a couple notches. Okay?
He teaches
If I knew,
corporate-
I would say
corporate
it. If
Vietnamese.
I
He
knew, I would
uses
say it.
proper.
Yeah, do
We're
they say
not
cô
proper.
gái?
Let's get that clear.
Okay.
I kind of do feel like my parents say cool gay, and like they don't really say cool gay
When in
anymore.
context do your parents say cool gay?
They joke about that all the time, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Get 'em out of the way.
Why you nam cool gay? Phải không? You know, like, yeah, they know that. That's a yo. That's a yo moment.
It's one of the
Your
commodities.
crazy uncle going, oh, but Kim gái hả? Right?
Absolutely. He's over there doing it, so you know,
Yeah,
like that's
okay.
how he knows.
But see, that's what I mean. Like, okay, the young now wants to go back and they want to be hip and like, hey, I want to have the street slang.
yeah.
Okay, it's just
What
like the
would it
Vietnamese
be?
coming here, they
Yeah.
have conversational English, proper English, but
Yeah.
let's say they want to be a little bit of a street English.
But those girls speak English.
I understand, but you know,
Passport bros, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm blanking out, man. I've heard some of the new slang. Like for example, one of them it makes no sense. Keo li.
Gaoli.
It means slay.
Oh.
Slay.
Like
Slay.
slay. Keo li.
Like, hey,
I'm not
slay.
sure how you use
Okay,
it. But
what is
it's
kale
a
and what is li?
It doesn't make any sense. So what people think is kale is like stick or like glue. Li is stubborn. But that's not what it is.
Yeah.
It literally
It's all
makes
slang.
no sense. It's just two Vietnamese sounding sounds that are now a slang word that means slay means like you look good. Keo li.
You look good.
I'm pretty sure.
So I'm gonna go to a girl. Hey, kêu li, huh?
People are like,
sound
what's
Chinese,
this
dude."
old millennial talking
Yeah, it's like,
about
yeah,
right
you're
now?
like, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Hey,
Well, that's
damn.
old, bro.
Yeah,
Old man.
You might not be, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I could even pull it off over
Oh,
there, but
man.
that's one example of what I'm hearing. That's one of them. Yeah.
okay, I want to act my age. Okay, now let's take it back to the little bit more adult. You know, now let's say I'm divorced. I'm going there and I'm gonna look for. I'm a passport bro.
Okay, you looking for a new wife?
New wife. Okay, now I'm gonna ask I put that all by myself. I
Yeah.
go. I ask the taxi driver or the. Okay, I'm looking for a place that has a lot of single women.
Okay.
Okay, what do I say to him? Christian
Yeah.
Travels.
Chở tôi đi shopping. I'm playing it safe here. Something.
I'm not buying anything.
You gotta,
that implying I'm buying it.
and
I'm not buying it.
You gotta wink at him too.
Okay.
Something, Hello?
Something.
Hey, I heard you don't bribe no more. You don't have to bribe no more, right? At the airport and none of that shit.
I think it's still optional.
Optional. Yeah, I heard they stopped bribing, but then you can hire like a courtesan. Like,
Courtesan?
Not a courtesan, like a concierge. They'll meet you at the airport and they'll like run you through. You just pay like
the express
Well,
guy.
well, they have an official program that lets you do that for people who are like frequently coming into the country, where you get to do like
So that's Express Pass?
Express Pass.
Yeah, fast pass.
Yeah. But I mean, I can't prove this, but you know, you can also just give one of the staff some cash, and then he'll take you to the
Walk
fast
you
pass
through?
too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Would you
so-
like some more water?
Water? I would like more water and ice.
Yeah,
Sure
I'm
thing.
still good. I'm still working on this. one.
Okay, no problem, sir.
How do you say ice?
I have the Vietnamese
That?
word
That?
for Riz.
Huh?
You have the
The
what?
Vietnamese word for Riz.
Riz?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's?
Man, don't ask Google.
Chris is like, what's Riz?
I don't even use Riz. Riz sounds like I'm fucking violating somebody, man. You know what I mean? Yo, I'm gonna Riz that thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds too close to jizz.
Yeah, right? I'm gonna Riz that thing, man. You know what I mean?
Never took it there, but now I can never go back.
Okay, yo.
Translation though.
What is it?
It's M-A-C-H, but on the A it has like a hat. Like a hat.
M-A-C-H?
Mach.
Mouth.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. So it's not.
Oh, I think that they're telling you the street said, oh, makwa.
Too expensive.
Too expensive. Yeah, makwa.
You're talking about
I don't think that's
very
the right one.
specific
Yeah.
language here for a very specific
What are you
purpose.
looking at, bro? You know what I mean? Our fact checker sucks. This
is very derogative.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's
guys,
like, we're trying to be
He's
proper here.
very
I'm trying to be-
into this article right now.
I'm trying to elevate my language barrier.
Do you think?
Okay?
Do you think a lot of guys like still go back and then try to find Vietnamese wives and stuff like that?
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But why do they want? Why would you think that they prefer like to find a Vietnamese wife or a Vietnamese girlfriend?
That's a good question. I think that once people feel like, you know, options here are kind of slim, and then, you know, maybe a homie or a cousin or maybe even an uncle was like, you know, why not look in Vietnam?
Yeah.
And I've done this Tinder passport. You can just
There's Tinder passport.
Tinder
I
passport.
don't know. I
man.
haven't played around in a long time. So
You
What do they call
could-
Tinder in Vietnam?
yeah, what do you call it?
Tinder.
Well, fine.
Phải hay trái đi?
Party man. But anyway, you can meet girls in Vietnam from here before you go there, and then
so
make
you can line
friends
them
with
up before you
them.
roll
So
up?
then
Oh,
you
there
know,
must be an app.
then you just don't have to waste time. You can just go there and just already got girls that you're
Cầm
gonna
tăm
meet.
one, cầm tăm two.
Go come them to.
Yeah.
And what if I want that, babe?
Yeah, you can go that big too. All options for you,
I heard
man.
sometimes they call it what's it called? Like holiday girlfriend. They come over, they just like come for the holiday and they just look to hook up somebody, something like that.
Yeah. I think I don't know now what the hookup culture is like, but I would say it's probably still pretty different from here.
Yeah.
Like the Vietnamese girls are still pretty conservative.
Okay, but see, look, he came back in 2006, right?
No. I was single back there in 2019.
Okay, 2019, you're
Pretty
single.
recent. Pretty recent.
Did they look at you as a passport?
They would never tell me that.
But yeah, have you been a mark like, oh, that's my green card?
Daddy.
I wouldn't know. Yeah,
Well,
they
you gotta-
never
you have
straight
to
up said
feel-
that.
yeah.
Yeah. But all I know was even me trying to date here in LA for like the longest time. It's kind of slim, you know, like just the whole trying to match in the first place, and then you talk, and then they ghost, and then you gotta go. And if you do go to
Dating's
dinner,
tough, bro.
You do go to dinner, you might not hit it off at the first date, and you're just like, man, it's exhausting, man. And then
Yeah.
going to Vietnam, and then it's like ding 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 ding, and you're like, wait, is this real? Like that girl looks like a model, man.
There's
She really
more
wants to
girls
meet
in
up.
Vietnam than guys, right?
I've heard
ratio?
that. I've heard that.
Then what the fuck
Yeah.
are we doing here?
What do you mean? What the fuck we're doing here?
All right, let's go.
Christian Travels taking us to Vietnam. I'm just kidding.
I got a tour
Not
company.
about all the girls, okay?
It's not about girls, it's about
not about
culture,
girls.
food, and what you're gonna
Culture,
put in your
food,
mouth.
stories,
Yeah,
heritage.
stories, cultural value, art,
Yeah.
and heritage.
Yeah. But facts, I'm gonna be completely real, man. The dating scene, it's easier for guys, and I think, you know, it's hard not to feel like, you know what, I'm gonna go to Vietnam and look for a girlfriend or look for my future wife or something like that.
Well, what about guys that are like in Vietnam, right? Not like foreigner guys or Vicky coming back. Are they like also just like hitting it off like right off the bat?
Bro, I've asked myself this, and I've actually asked dudes there just because I have friends here who are like so exhausted from dating, you know, and they do feel like, you know, kind of upset, and you know, like there's a whole like incel scene here too, where like dudes are kind of angry at women. It's just like the system is against us, right? You've heard about this, right?
I don't have 6
The whole
figures, I'm not
dating
6 foot, I don't have
situation.
6 inches. You know what I mean?
They're not 6'6".
It really is
It's
that.
a 666 fucking devil, dude.
Right.
Yeah,
so
6
it's
foot,
like
6 figures, 6
dudes,
inches,
dudes are
yeah.
angry. It's like, you know, all the girls here are like just dating the same 3 alpha dudes or whatever in their neighborhood.
Yeah, that's the.
I've asked people in Vietnam. I've asked local dudes there. It's like, hey man, so you got foreigners coming, you got Vic Q coming, you know, going after your girls, man. Like, do you guys feel angry, upset about that? You know, they don't.
They don't.
And I've seen dudes that, you know, look not like super K-pop or whatever the aesthetic is over there.
Well-
they're still with very pretty looking girls, and they still look really
Okay,
happy.
then let's flip this. An ABG girl from here that's all dolled up, fucking aesthetically Western and fucking just hot here.
Yeah.
They go there, are they insignificant?
Oh, you flipped it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for local dudes over there, they might not be going for that in the majority.
But if like
But
you
I don't
say,
know if she's looking for those guys either over there, because you know, because they're kind of like very proper Vietnamese dudes, you know, very like slacks and bath slippers and
Yeah.
very clean cut and like
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, I don't think she's going for that, you know. So, but for
this-
those like, you know, I want to say like quote unquote very average dudes, they're meeting girls over there and like
because there's some dudes that just want what they can't get, right? Okay, because you live in here, this is plenty. Okay, but now you're watching like, damn, these girls from like Orange County are different. Okay, so now they have like, oh look, I see one right now. Yeah, you know what I mean?
The mythical
fucking,
ABG.
you know.
I've seen that happen more frequently now than ever before, I think. Because there's dudes over there that are like, they're hip, they speak English, you know, they're more cultured, they're more curious, and for sure I think they would
Because
get
sometimes
with
it's
a girl
just a
from
challenge.
Orange County.
Just
yeah,
have
or
it's just a challenge.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a novelty.
It's just a chase, a novelty,
Yeah.
and like I want to fucking get off my bucket list.
Yeah.
Like I got one of those. You know what I mean?
and this is gonna sound kind of weird too, but
It sounds sexist already.
like, oh god,
On brand.
On brand.
On brand. On brand.
Just do it.
I'm not playing myself up or anything like that, but I think when I came as a kid, right, like
Yeah.
a teenager going to Vietnam, and like, you know, you still kind of have this mindset like, you know, I'm from here, everyone else is kind of fobby,
Yeah.
you know, and that was like most of Vietnam, like all like young people there. I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of fobby, like we're the stylish ones because we come from the States. I feel like maybe within the last few years, Vietnamese people look hot, man.
Yeah.
Girls and dudes, if I can say
Yeah.
that. Like the guys are like fit now, they're very stylish, and like, you know, the girls
yeah, hell yeah, I
like
even
all of
see
a
it.
sudden, boom, across the board, like everyone is super attractive, very stylish, take good care of themselves.
I ain't gonna lie, they got more. I look at some of the feeds, like, dude, they got style.
Yeah, they got more style than us.
Yeah, like, dude, they're
Definitely
all,
more than me. I just wear free clothes.
me, I just wear shit what fits.
already
you know what I
bad
mean?
mode, man. Like,
Dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm already like,
I'm just trying to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they care about that over there now, and it's like across the board, boom, like, yeah, you guys got stylish.
And they have nice skin.
I mean, Vietnam, but they just opened the rail, like the monorail.
Yep.
So it's one station, right? I
Yeah.
think, right.
Just only one line right now from Benside Market all the way out to District 9.
That's
It's
awesome.
on the outskirts, on
Did the
outskirts.
Japanese
dude.
build that? Come to help?
The Japanese, I think, invested in it. They've been investing in it. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to open a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's delayed. But then finally, it's
Okay, so what culture
it's running.
it has the biggest influence in Vietnam right now?
Oh man, that's a good question. I would
Korea?
say probably Korea.
Korea? Is that why everybody has this K-pop look?
K-pop look, Vietnamese pop looking like K-pop. You know, everybody loves Korean dramas. Korean food isn't. Korean people are everywhere. There's like full-on Korea towns in Saigon and in Hanoi. Yeah, so they live there.
So the Korean influence is the most prominent thing over there right now, right?
I would say so. I would say so. Yeah.
Because that's interesting. Because like, you know, would there ever be a time where like Vietnamese American would have influence over there?
I would love to see that.
You
I
know,
think we had that back in the day, you know, because like American culture, like tattooing, muscle cars,
Yeah.
shit like that, rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know, that had that time already. Because before this time, now it's hip hop.
because if you consider,
right.
if they consider us just American, right? And now how we have Little Saigon, can we bring back Little America?
Right. No, but going back to what
You feel what I'm saying?
No, what you said is I think it still holds up. It's not even in the past. I think now, looking at Vietnamese dudes now, I don't think they look K-pop. They might be listening to it, and there's a lot of Korean culture all around them, but I think their style is very similar to Vietnamese folks here, because they're tatted up. Yeah, tattoos are really popular. That's not popular in Korea. Getting tatted up, not popular in Korea, not popular in Japan. For the majority of people, but like Vietnamese young people love getting tattoos.
Oh, I see that. It's like an
explosion. That's in our history.
That's in our history.
That's dope. I love that. That it's like kind of like a straight line to like the very beginnings. And, like,
but they don't see that as like gang culture.
Once upon a time,
I don't think so. Like not
but
anymore.
Once upon a time they did.
I think once upon a time they did.
Like in the 90s and early 2000s. I went back like like 95 and like early 2000s. So it was way different then. It was like post-war stuff like that. Like there was barely any street lights. People just like pissing on the street, shit like that. But then the evolution of it, like cars now and fucking internet, Wi-Fi everywhere. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. But then, what was the question again?
I don't know.
It was talking about the style, right?
Oh yeah.
Can we export our culture back there to make it?
We've been.
I think we've been doing it.
I think ever since that, ever since the war, like American culture did infiltrate there, and people were like, yeah, we want to have like hot rods and Harleys and shit like that. I know like our counterparts over there, like Saigon Inc and stuff, like they have like muscle cars and and the rock and roll was very, very big.
And the whole Chicano.
Oh, the Chicano
scene over there,
Dip
Monster.
Yeah,
shout out to them.
That's straight up
That's
LA.
crazy though, but they're like tatted like 13 and shit and fucking Sereno stuff.
That's pretty wild. Over here, I would get arrested for that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Couldn't even wear Cortezes growing up, man. Like,
I mean, we dress like Mexicans because that's just part of our area, our ecosystem.
What's up, Eze?
Yeah. So then that's definitely like something like they imported for sure.
Yeah.
Like, so I think we've been doing it, and that might be one thing that like they will retain as opposed to like just completely becoming Korean pop and like I don't think that's so much
because like okay, let's say American Muscle, but then in the 90s we were all Japanese imports. We
did the opposite.
We did the opposite. So we created our own fucking culture as car culture, as a lot of the import tuners. Okay, would we see that versus American Muscle? Because that's what the Vietnamese was in. We had the Honda, the Acuras, the Supras, all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's what we adopted for many, many fucking years. I did street racing for fucking however long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, would they adopt that as our American counterpart? You know what I mean?
I don't see why not, but I don't see it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right
you don't
now.
see it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's not happening.
Because in Little Saigon, that was a fucking scene.
Yeah, for sure. In the valley too.
Well, because they didn't have cars.
I know,
at that time. So what they would do is they would race the Hondas.
Yeah.
They would race their Vespas, or they'll get like
Honda Cubs. And
or like the classics, and they'll race bikes. They'll be bike racing.
The interesting is the guy that started my racing crew, Wicked Racing, Viet Lam. He grew up in Vietnam racing mopeds in the fucking city, and he says we don't even have brakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were real gangsters.
Yeah, they were just when in fucking dark hits, streets are empty, they just fucking go ham, right?
Yeah.
He took that culture, brought it here, and built an import scene that we follow.
Wow.
And, and he built horsepower into the Hondas.
Yeah.
And then he's a legend in our street community, and he was a straight fucking fob. Okay, so Viet Lam, Speed Image, Wicked Racing, he did that shit, and I'm just saying how he brought that moped culture over here into the 4-cylinders and built that. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they're gonna bring back like boat racing, because I was talking to some people and then they were doing like this like global like boat race, and then it was gonna like touch Vietnam and like Indonesia and stuff like that too. And we're people of like of the water, right? And like supreme like boats and sailors and stuff like that too. So I wonder if boat racing will pick up sometime later down the line.
Now they're building boat carts. Okay, so like go-karts for land, for boating. There's this one fucking...
Oh,
there's like a single man, it's like a fucking go-kart for water, you know what I mean? Like, I go, oh, dude, I want to do that shit, you know what I mean? Like, that's fucking badass. Now, is that what you want to see?
Or the retro, like, 90s singular cruiser boats?
Yes.
No, what I'm talking about is like high-end rich man, like boating.
Oh yeah, they got yacht clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Saigon now.
No, let's talk about the street people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about, the rich can do whatever the fuck they want.
So
You know
I think it went from like bikes. There was a little bit of car things, and they went bam straight to electric. Because like it evolved so fast,
Yes.
they just skipped one and went straight to the
Electric's
other.
on the scene now.
Yeah.
So I don't.
VinFast.
Shout out to VinFast, electric cars, VF9.
Vin company.
But that makes me think about how earlier we were talking about like Vietnamese American identity.
Yeah.
And what we have here is like pretty unique. It's like homegrown. But then I guess, talking about your homie from the scene back then, who was like the kind of like the frontier, the forefather, the pioneer of it, they're coming from Vietnam.
Yes.
Right? So these are like our older cousins, our young uncles and stuff like that. So like what we have here that's homegrown is still elements from Vietnam too, that's like mixed in and like, so there has been kind of like a seesaw. It's not like just like one direction and then back. It's kind of like, it's kind of like a circle, I guess.
Because this dude let's call him a straight fob, broken English. He barely spoke it, but he had that bravado.
Yeah.
And he built fucking
Right.
high horsepower Hondas, but his mentality was like, I'm going fast.
Yeah.
And we all like fucking just followed him, and we all just fucking built cars to go fast. You know what I mean? But he was a straight dude from Vietnam.
So we got to give him credit. Like
dude.
That's the generation.
Vietnam,
which
man, I flip your car, man. Flip your car. No, and that's what he did. He built and he made the street culture accept the Vietnamese culture. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, to me, he's the legend here, and if they have to mimic anybody to be the guy that did tuners, the Vietnamese guy that was the biggest in the name in the 90s was him. And I'll give him that credit. Even, any legendary racers in the 90s will tell you, Vietnam was the man. Okay? And I'm just saying, if you want to look at like history, if they look at muscle cars, they're going to look at like some, what's his name? Carroll for like the Shelby. You know what I mean? So they have to now, if they collect, they have to know the heritage. And that's what I mean. If car culture heritage, you have to know who went and where and did what, right? So they have to study that. So would they? You know what I mean? Would they adopt something from here, bringing that culture to them?
I think it just would take, a couple cars showing up, some influencers doing it, and then next thing you know,
it takes one
you
than
have
the
a
other.
scene.
Yeah.
Because the JDM scene here is coming back.
Yeah.
And they're now recognizing who built that scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything coming in circle.
It's coming full circle.
Because even with Viet Monster, I got some young friends over there that were inspired by the Chicano aesthetic.
Yeah, the lowriders and
like haircutting, all of that stuff from them. And like they have created like new generations of kids who like look up to them, or like taking on that aesthetic, and like that's when you kind of spread the culture. The same thing when I was there in 2006 studying, I did my semester report on hip hop in Hanoi, which actually Hanoi was at the forefront of hip hop in Vietnam even before Saigon. And you had b-boys out there that I was like interviewing, and by then they were already actually older. They were like older generation b-boys out there. And this was in like 2006, right? So then they were building like a subculture out there already, and then they were like training these new generations. So today, I think that hip hop is making a resurgence in Vietnam right now.
Well, they got Viet rap right now,
rap
right?
and all that stuff, and like all of that was, the seeds were kind of sown back then from these guys who were just like, we're into this, and they got like the older generation approval, like like the older generation, like we don't like this is tattoos, this is bad for the kids, blah blah. And then they were the ones that were like, no, this is good, this is like, we're good people, this culture is like really amazing, and we want to spread this. And then now you got like this whole generation now that's doing it. So that could easily happen, I think, for like any kind of subculture.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that.
Okay, so
that
music
took off.
culture, you got the Viet rap thing. Okay, EDM is pretty prevalent over there, right?
EDM is big.
Vina House.
Vina House.
Yeah, Vina-
Never ending.
Viet trap.
Fucking
Okay, but
bump.
okay, because like the Vietnamese here after new wave, after like breakbeat, after fucking Miami bass, whatever it is, okay. Now came EDM.
Yeah.
And we started adopting that back, mid-90s?
Yeah.
And then the rave scene hit here.
Yep.
Okay, now when did Vietnam start picking up EDM? You know what I mean? And where did it was it people here going back there saying this is what we fuck with?
I was probably.
They were always doing like techno.
Yeah.
Like back in
Techno, trance,
I went
house,
to,
you know what I mean?
You go to disco, right?
Yeah,
you go to the
disco,
club, you go disco. Disco tech, right? Disco
Yeah.
tech 9, you know what I'm saying? But they would play techno.
Okay, tell me how they say trance in Vietnamese.
Toren.
Oh,
But Vietnamese people love the club, man. The
that's
club
what
is
I'm saying.
always
Vietnamese, no matter
institution.
what, we love drinking and clubbing, right?
Yeah, they love dance music.
Okay, see, now what's the version of that? If, let's say, house music, what do you say? Vienna house for sure.
Yeah, trance.
Okay, how do you translate trance?
I don't think they do. I don't
They
think
say
they do.
trance.
How about
Yeah.
techno?
Techno. I don't think they're translating those. Yeah.
We're not advertising it well.
I know. Like, what do they put on the flyer? Like a guy gets on there. Come to my club this weekend for techno. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up. I think it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I would love to know what the Vietnamese word for techno is, but I'm pretty sure it's just techno.
It's just techno.
I'm pretty sure.
It's just techno, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Hamburger.
But Vienna House is Vienna House.
Vienna house is Vienna house. It's
That's
separate.
that's their thing.
There's no drop.
Yeah.
It just keeps going. Well, I have a question too. Is like, when you go to the club, right? A lot of the clubs are like ran by sometimes like foreign investment and stuff like that, but they still sell like fake alcohol,
Yeah.
right? They still sell fake liquor. Which clubs, like if I go on your tour, right? Was it
Third culture.
Third culture, right? Is there clubbing involved in third culture Vietnam?
Was there nightlife, basically?
And will
There
there
is if you want it.
Is there a nightlife tour?
will there be real bottles? Or do I have to
Can
bring
you
Now
my
there
own?
is. We started one now, just right this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
So-
else we have to bring our own bottles, right?
So
that's the game,
Third
right?
culture will have you right, okay? If
I-
you book with third culture.
I think we got to do. Yeah, we would start it off. Nhau. Right, get some food in you, get the drinks going, and then we can hop over to maybe like a lounge, something a little more chill, and then build our way up to some like
Some Vienna.
So
Right,
let me
and
ask
then
you
with
this.
that,
So I'm
and
going
then
to
with
curate my travel to you. I want a day trip, I want a night trip, I want a trip.
Okay. Oh, you want the three hit combo.
Let's
Okay, I like that.
Get a three-piece.
You're giving me some product ideas right now. I
want
love
to clean his ears.
Market research.
He wants to get a haircut.
Oh.
Just to get,
Done.
done, right?
Oh my God, done.
Okay, but you got to
Bro.
curate it right, give me my
Bro.
breakfast, we're going to get ready.
You think all his customers are just gonna be dudes like us?
Yeah.
Why not, man? Yeah, I mean, I got you. I'll pick you up from the hotel. We're gonna go have some ball call for breakfast. You know what I mean? And we can do some cultural for the daytime. Take you
get
out.
some culture in.
Get some culture in. You're tired. You walk
Drink
around.
coffee
You
for
listen
4
to
hours.
some lectures.
Yeah.
Spa time for you, man. Get you pampered. Get your
Get you
ears
relaxed,
clean.
get you clean.
Like take a little nap. Like hit the sauna. Take a little nap, and then we're gonna go Nhau.
After Nhau, we're going to
then-
go bom, bom, bom,
Bom, bom, bom. And then we will make sure we carry you into your hotel and then into your bed, and you wake up and you're good.
And then we start again tomorrow.
Your shoes are neatly tucked under your bed. There you go.
Neatly tucked into
There you go. Got you, man. Got you.
And you might wake up with a rando.
Wake up with a rando.
We'll make sure it's a rando you actually picked. Yeah.
Bro, I almost got trapped one time with a bunch of like 4 ugly randos. I was drunk in like they have a J-Town there. I was like, I want a bottle of black. They're like,
You want a bottle of blackout?
yeah, they're like, excuse me? It's like, no, I want the whole bottle. Give me the fucking bottle.
Right?
They're like, what? And it's all these chicks started swarming, and I was with my homie. This was like back in like early 2000s or whatever. And they're like, yeah, you can stay here. You can stay with us, no charge or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. And my buddy's like, no, come back to my hotel. I was like, all right. And then I woke up the next day and I looked at the pictures, like, ugh. And my boy was like, yeah, right. And I was like, all right.
Hangover
Thanks,
part
bro.
4.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. Thanks for saving my ass.
Could have been worse.
I know.
Okay, now you got to tell us travels don'ts. You got to have some little warning signs.
Yeah, do I roll up with my iced out necklace and my bling or
travel
what?
etiquette and travel do nots.
Yeah.
So this
Don't
is
tip
stuff-
the babies.
Yeah, this the faux pas. You know what I mean?
I would say for sure the club scene is different. Because here, growing up, going to the club, you go there with your guys, and then you go there to meet girls, right? You go there to get numbers, but you don't do that in Vietnam.
What do you go get then?
Well, you might do that at maybe a lounge, but then the girls that approach you might not be just
receptive to that?
girls who are
They might not be
trying
normal girls. They might be working
They might be
girls?
working girls.
Yeah.
But a club
Like a
where
dome.
there's really good music and it's like, decently big, there's a lot of tables, like everyone is chilling with their group. So you don't go approach a girl because then she might be with these guys and like, you know, then you ask
So
for
you
trouble.
can't even hook up.
You ask for trouble.
Well, it's the same thing here.
Yeah, same thing here. Oh
That's
my
the same
god,
thing here.
we're going back to the
Okay,
fucking
never mind
90s.
Yeah, that's the same shit here.
I remember going to clubs where like you hit the dance floor, there's girls dancing. She might be with her homegirl. You got your wingman. You know, get the homegirl.
So you can't do
off
that?
with the wingman. You don't do that in Vietnam.
Oh my God,
Or
it's
do
either-
you not do that at all nowadays? You can't spit game nowadays, right?
Yeah, so because back in the day in the 90s here, you can't even hit up a girl's on a Vietnamese clubs because like fucking the dude that just likes her is across the room. No medical guy.
Yeah, they'll stab you.
They'll stab you for that shit. You know?
Okay, so that hasn't changed.
So that hasn't changed.
Okay.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
don't do that.
We're still
Don't do that.
backwards.
Yeah.
As soon as you step out, like a 5-year-old baby will try to sell you a fan. 3 in the morning.
Not even
And you
alive.
know that Dave Chappelle skit?
Not
Hey,
even alive.
baby.
Yeah.
What are you doing out here? It's like, I gotta pay rent.
Go on.
We got a picture of the
Oh,
homie
man.
of a baby like trying to sell him, and he's all making a sad face.
Yeah.
And then our homie's like, I was like, that baby's fat, bro. That baby don't need food.
Go do your homework, man.
Give the warning to the guys that's trying to hook up. Do not try to spit game because
Don't.
you might get fucked up.
Just spit good game to any group of girls in the club. You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, you gotta do global
So how
Tinder.
yeah. This foreigners must be having a reality check when they.
You gotta just go on Tinder and then meet them do that. But then that's not even a sure bet that they're not working girls and stuff like that too. So
Okay.
you
Oh
just
my
gotta
god.
take your chances.
So it's just fucking still ass backwards with that part.
a little bit.
Shit out of luck.
All right,
That's a lot.
guys, don't go to Vietnam and try to hook up like you're a Mac, okay? Don't spit game.
The turn of the man. sorry. All right. Enough
Enough
about
of the
thinking
girls.
of chicks.
Yeah, speaking
all
of
right?
chicks, man.
We're talking about here. We're about culture,
Culture.
I am married,
linguistics,
though.
and history.
Yeah. You know, third culture will take you on a proper tour and do the right thing.
All right, what are the top 3 things that I would expect of getting out of this tour? You know what I mean? Like, what are the 3 main points that you want to hit when you take someone on your tour?
Like sites.
Sites?
Like, are you talking about sites specifically?
No, whatever you're gonna take the tour on. Like,
Right.
what are the 3 main things that you like for sure got to show these people?
So
that are
right
important to you?
now, we have already launched some tours. So we did 4 tours already in Saigon, because we're brand new. I led a few of them. One that we're really proud of is the history cultural tour of Saigon, because I think that a lot of people that visit Saigon is like eat, hit up the clubs, right? Like,
Yeah.
and Saigon is amazing for that,
Yeah.
right? But it's just like, what's the culture? What is the history of this
I'm more
place?
on the history culture side.
Because in
for sure.
Hanoi, you can see the culture. It's there. They preserve it, right? There's gates, there's shrines, there's all this stuff all
Landmarks,
around you,
yeah.
right? But in Saigon, it's like it looks like it's trying to get rid of all that. It's moving so fast.
It's a city, right?
But it's there. So the culture's there. So what I've done is design a tour where you go through the biggest cultural influences of Saigon. So the 4 main ones would be Chinese, Khmer, Cambodian, which there isn't a lot of, and American, French, right? So we take folks to the big sites that explore those influences, and we talk about, what is this place, and we try to weave a story in there about like the origins of Saigon and like the impact of these different groups on Saigon.
Do you go in chronological order?
We try, but it's been logistically impossible
So
because
how-
it just doesn't work.
So how we
Yeah.
got banh mi cafe, how we got hiu tu, and how we got
Yeah.
okay,
Curry.
and
And sadly, there's no like Khmer places, but we'll take people to just kind of the big Cambodian community there
Yeah.
that's still there. So
Even
they
in
can
the
eat.
Champa side, there's not like a specialty that the
No,
Champa do or anything?
honestly, in
No
Saigon,
Phnom
there
Penh
wasn't a lot of
noodles.
Champa influence in Saigon. Champa is mostly in central. Yeah, so Saigon, you have a lot of Muihua, Chinese influence, and obviously like French and American.
All right,
Yeah.
so tell us with that tour, what
that-
would they call me and him?
What would Vietnamese people call you guys?
Yes.
Mai thằng du đảng.
Okay.
Yang Ho.
Mai thằng young hào.
No, but we're just tourists, you know what I mean?
So, I mean, the general umbrella term is Việt Kiều, but they have a technical one, which is if you're born here, then you're người Mỹ gốc Việt, which is like a mouthful.
Okay,
But it's
I'm
like-
born in Vietnam.
Then you're Việt Kiều.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you classify as Việt Kiều.
You're Vic Q, I'm going Mỹ.
Yeah,
You're người Mỹ.
Which honestly, to me, it makes no sense because like you could be born in Vietnam, left when you were like 1 or 2 or 3, and like be not that well versed, I guess, in Vietnamese culture. Whereas someone born here could be, more well versed. That none of that matters. It's a technicality. If you're born in Vietnam and left, you're Việt kiều. That's technically it. But I think Việt kiều is the umbrella term even for us. Yeah, so they'll use that word. So you guys are Việt kiều. Yeah.
So okay, that's just
And me
wanted to
too.
know. I'm just curious.
Where do you think Vietnam is gonna turn into in the next, like, say, 5 to 10 years? Because, you know, Nvidia just opened up over there, making up, you know, their AI, you know, and Google, you know, doing fucking quantum fucking chips and shit.
Yeah.
You know, and everything is made in Vietnam.
Yes.
Right? Especially with the tariffs going on right
So
now.
proud, man. Made in Vietnam, man.
Made in Vietnam, right? So much stuff made in Vietnam, right? Nike. Was it Patagonia too? I remember Ed
North
Hardy's were made there.
Face,
Yeah,
yeah.
North Face. Yeah, and Nvidia. I think, you know, like Vietnam will probably get like the dibs on the microprocessing chips, right? So their technology is
It's gonna elevate.
They have a Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
you know, built in of Southeast Asia. I think it's gonna be very, very powerful and it's gonna be drastically changing, especially with the population. And then, you know, they're gonna be in the forefront of like AI and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like answering the question. What do you think is gonna happen in the next 5 to 10 years?
You took it away, man. I think that on the ground, what I'm noticing with young people is that they are so innovative now.
Yes.
They're working so hard. And earlier, you know, when you said that thing about like, man, you don't speak any English. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if Vietnamese people were here, like 8 out of like, I don't know, 9 of them would be like very offended. They'd be like, oh my God, yeah, you're right. I don't speak good English. Whereas like other countries, they don't give a shit if you speak English. You know, France, a lot of places in South America, you know, they speak Spanish. They don't care to speak English, but Vietnamese people take it really seriously. And that's all just examples of like how hard they want to catch up and get up there to like innovate, to be at the forefront of like,
Bro.
where's the edge of technology and advancement? Like they're flying out there.
Dude, I've been so impressed with the Vietnamese people that come visit here and they speak English. I was like astonished. Like, dude,
I thought it was required now. No.
Your English is so
They're
fucking good.
experimenting with it being required in, I think in Saigon right now in the schools.
Yeah. And there's separate schools, right? There's like private schools who are they're more like international schools.
Yeah.
And then there's the public school.
Yeah, and
Right.
I think maybe you're right. Maybe I think it is required because I also speak English. I teach English out there too, and they have a lot of problems still with their education. They go through like 7 years of English, but they don't really learn how to speak it.
So do they call it ESL like we call it here?
They call it no, because I come from the industry, so I got my master's in English teaching. It's EFL for them.
What the fuck is F?
English as a foreign language. Because they're learning English
You money, my EFL money.
in an environment that's not English speaking.
So,
Yeah.
in reverse, I gotta go back to Vietnam now. Vietnamese is my second language, right? Okay,
you're
what do you call that?
VSL, bro.
VFL?
VSL.
VSL.
We got this our school name now, dude. Awesome.
Our school name. Yeah, I'm down. Let's open a school.
Let's go, man. You know, because my Vietnamese is horrible. It's fucking horrible,
Dude, it's the whole diaspora community can so relate to that struggle.
Yeah,
You know, that's what I'm learning. That's like the heart of the community that's following Chris Tran Travels is like, yo, man, like the language, we need it, the culture. Let's see how we move forward with this, you know?
Yeah.
Because there has to be overlap in something where, like, you know, we're gonna have to find, like, again, common ground.
Yeah.
Okay, and because I want to reconnect with my, you know, home country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm like, how do I do that? You know, will they accept me? Will they fucking?
They'll accept you, bro.
Yeah.
They'll accept you.
I was
You just gotta do this.
Come on, yo.
And then do a couple songs on the mic.
You gotta learn one song. Not from 1970.
Yeah. Man, this has been awesome, man. I've actually learned quite a bit. I had these questions, you know, you as, you know, Chris Tran Travels have traveled all that. I haven't traveled. So you're my gateway. I'm a voyeur through your own fucking, you know, I'm living vicariously through you. You know what I mean?
Love it. Honored.
Okay,
I'm honored.
And so let us live vicariously through you and keep doing this fucking journey. Okay? And yo. So take it away. What advice would you give us, Ricky, once we travel with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, what are like the respectful rules?
Yes,
What are
we
things
wanna
we're
respect
gonna
Vietnam's
avoid?
culture,
How,
you know?
how can we navigate Vietnam without like getting in trouble, being disrespectful, and things like that?
I think-
to have a good time.
I think the opposite of what you're thinking because especially in the South, People are so laid back, man.
Yeah.
You know, I think the more you overthink it, the more people are like, hey man, just chill, just relax. You know, like
It's
just have a good time.
It's okay.
Just have a good. No,
Yeah.
absolutely. They're so hospitable that, like, you know, like if they ask you, like, hey, try this food. If you eat the whole plate, they'll love you, man. They'll be like, oh,
So food is still the love
amazing.
language.
Yeah. Every time they say yo, do
Look
a
at
yo,
this
like,
fat fuck. He ate the
Yeah.
whole plate.
Oh, this fat. Oh, don't offer these two fat fucks. You know what I mean? They're gonna eat it all.
One more.
No more. Can I say? No more.
have a good time, connect, even without full Vietnamese, like, you know, finding that common ground of like just happiness, sharing the joy, like that's all you need. That's all you need.
Hell yeah. And then you recently did some philanthropy, right, throughout the year,
Yeah.
especially when the flooding happened.
Yeah.
And then met up with one of our homies, Tony.
Tony
Boncott
Dang,
Lady.
Boncott
You know what I
Lady.
mean?
Shout out.
Yeah,
Shout out
that
Tony.
was a beautiful thing you guys did. Yeah, I chipped in a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I want to do it again. I want to be there next year with
Absolutely.
you guys. You know,
Yeah.
helping out, you know, the villages and the people and
Yeah.
people affected, because it's gonna take years to rebuild, you know, those parts,
Absolutely.
and things are not as simple as we think it is, right? Like you can't just throw money at problems.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
It's not.
It's
Yeah.
more. It's more than that.
Boots on the ground too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you need something long lasting, something building a foundation. Yeah, it's a big part of our work out there is like to go out to these communities. You know, it's not just partying in the cities. Like,
Yeah.
I think honestly, the real Vietnam is out there. The real Vietnam is in the countryside, in the villages, in the small provinces.
I mean, is there an organization out in Vietnam that we could connect to?
A big one that I work with is CompassionVietnam.org. They're Australian based. They work with disadvantaged kids out there. They're really awesome. One out in the north that I work with is, oh my God, I'm blanking out on the name. Yeah, I'll give it to you guys so you guys can put it in the description.
Sure.
But it's a holistic care center out in Hai Phong. But they do a lot of philanthropy work up in the north where they need a lot of help. Up in the high mountain regions is where you'll see poverty like you've never seen. Like people are just living like they've lived like 80 years ago.
See, because end of the day, we just got love for fucking Vietnam.
For sure.
100%.
Cheers to that.
To Vietnam.
Cheers to Vietnam.
Vietnam, rise.
Anything else you want to plug in or anything like that?
Third Culture Vietnam. If you're out in Vietnam, you want to go have some good food, have some fun at night, or do any kind of big tour across the country, check us out. You know, we're brand new, but we got a lot of love, and we're trying to do something really big for the community. So we would love to show you guys around. And if you want to learn Vietnamese, you know, just follow Chris Tran Travels. You know, we update with a lot of Vietnamese courses and all kinds of goodies. So
It's not about picking up chicks.
Yeah, it's not about chicks.
we'll have that too, actually. If you need it, we got it.
Was it special subscription?
Please subscribe to get that info.
His
Okay?
only fans. Only fams.
Only fans, okay? Okay. To you all the Junghauers out there, cheers.
All the Junghauers.
Blah, 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 blah.